Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to our ID series here in INSEF and also those who joining us online. Alhamdulillah, I think I will not give you a lot of introduction because on the third sector we already hear from Prof. Dr. Azmi and also Mr. Faik. We have, Alhamdulillah, our topic today is third sector, to empower third sector in Malaysia. And this is the objective is to drive the social economic development in our country. Okay, so we have a very prominent, three prominent panelists. First is Dato Syed Saleh, now is a chairman of Islamic Relief Malaysia. But Dato Sri is synonymous with Tabung Haji because he works in Tabung Haji for more than 37 years. We know that Tabung Haji got many awards. I think most of the work is done led by Dato Sri Syed Saleh. Okay. And then, Alhamdulillah, we have Dato Associate Professor Dr. Azrin. Now is CEO of Majlis Agama Islam and Adat Istiadat Terengganu. Alhamdulillah, thank you Dato Adnan, Dato Azrin for coming with us. And I know Dr. Azrin when he was in UNIZA. Now he's joining as CEO of MyDam. Just a quick question, Dr. Azrin. Dr. Azrin, which one is more interesting, to work in MyDam or to work as an academic in UNIZA?
I think both have uniqueness. I like both.
Okay. Same answer. Okay. Okay, and then we have also a very young strategist from Waqaf An-Nur. I think we, as a Malaysian, we know Waqaf An-Nur Corporation, one of the leading examples of successful Waqaf organization. Thank you, Syazwan, for coming and joining us for today. Okay, let's start our discussion with Dato Sri as the first panelist. Dato Sri, I think even though we talk about a lot about a third sector, but I think we need to establish our understanding of the third sector. What does it mean, the third sector, in the Malaysian context? And when we talk empowerment of the third sector, does it imply that the first and second one is not functioning well? So, silakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to everyone. Thank you, Prof. Dr. Amir, the moderator for today. And also thank you for inviting me over for this session. Distinguished panelists, Dato Ahmad and Brother Syazwan, Prof. Dato Azmi, I've been with him quite a long time when I was going on and off to Jeddah together, Brother Syed and also the rest of the Dr. Nick as well. Okay, going back to the question, I think the introduction that was been given just now by Dato Prof and also Brother Syed is a very good introduction of what actually is the third sector in a way. Anyhow, in the Malaysian context, apart from the government and the private sector, that is the first and the second sector, we have the third sector. This third sector, it can be seen as more of encompassing NGOs, charities, foundations, and also community organizations. Yeah? These are basically organizations that operate in different fields. We can see that they are into the social services, also healthcare, environment, education, and culture, and also advocacy. So what distinguishes the third sector from the other two if we were to compare with the public sector, we have a bit of the autonomy. The government sector would have these policies, will have these bureaucratic processes that needs to go through, whereas in the third sector we can roll up our sleeves and literally jump into the field to assist and to serve the community. So we can innovate our services. We can also tailor-made the programs to the specific needs of the community. And also what we can see here, if we were to compare with the private sectors, surely the private sectors, with due respect, they will certainly look at profit maximization. So the third sector will prioritize on social value creation and human development. So our measure of success is not mainly on the financial gain, but more on the social impact, community empowerment, and the enhancement of the social cohesion. So we reach into the underserved or the marginalized community that would be caught in the crisis or in poverty and so on. So these communities may fall through the cracks of the formal system, which been marginalized. Inshallah, with what we call that, we are the eyes and the ears on the ground, closest to the affected population. So we would be able to understand and serve them better, inshallah. Thank you.
Okay, I think very good point to set the context. So when we talk about third sector, it means other than government as the first, and second, the businesses, the private that emphasize on the profit. So we are talking about NGOs, Waqaf authorities, and zakat authorities. Okay. So and Dato Sri also make a very good point that for this third sector, they can move faster and move faster to create impact to the society. Okay. But in order to make impact to the society, I think there are two elements that is very, very important. First is governance, and second is sustainability. So, Dr. Azrin, how you see the landscape of the current third sector in Malaysia within the aspect of governance and sustainability?
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim. Professor Dr. Amir, Professor Dato Azmi, Dr. Nick from Ministry of Economics, panelists, respected professors, Professor Baharum. Your name is quite popular, during the meeting. For instance, Majlis Perukusan Zakat Negeri-Negeri. One of the, always, especially from Lembaga Zakat Negeri Kedah, they always mention Professor Baharum from himself, Professor Baharum from himself. I think, we're quite happy, to see Prof. Baharum today, respected Dean, fellow friends, brothers, sisters, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, allow me to express my appreciation. I'm very honored to be here today, given the chance to express my views on the third sector empowerment. And inshallah, we will learn from each other. And I think during Prof. Dato Azmi's speech, I think I've learned, so many new things today. Inshallah, we'll bring back to Terengganu, try to find tune things that will be okay for Maidam to be implemented. Back to your question regarding the current landscape and also current development of the third sector in Malaysia in terms of the governance and sustainability. I discovered that there is no consensus among scholars and also policy makers regarding the definition of the third sector. I think unlike a few countries, Malaysia is not yet have a very systematic, structured, the way we define the third sector, because the dimensions of third sector is, various dimensions. NGOs, social enterprises and communities, voluntary programs, yayasan, put aside the State Islamic Religious Council. So we have many. So because of this situation, I believe that the third sector is governed by various or multiple laws and authorities. We have Companies Act, for instance. We have Trustee Act. We have what else? State Islamic laws. So we have many. So because of the fact that we have a huge number of, say for instance, NGOs, I believe that, and based on my experience at Terengganu, especially under the jurisdiction of State Islamic Religious Council, I think the biggest challenge of the third sector is the financial sustainability and also over dependence on donation. I think this is the area that, frankly speaking, every day I receive a letter from various NGOs looking for donation, looking for contribution, either from the zakat fund, Waqaf fund, or gender resources, and etc. So this is the reality that we have to accept and try to find solution on how we can solve this problem. But despite this kind of scenario that I've mentioned, I think we have to look this thing from the positive side. And to me, the third sector is growing tremendously. Regardless, we don't have a very structured, procedures or procedures on the operation of the third sector. But the third sector is growing tremendously. There are three reasons. Number one is the support from the government, either at the national level or state level. I agree with you. You did mention about the RMK 13, because one of the important part that I mentioned in the RMK 13 is to get third sector involved in the empowerment of the social and economic agenda. I think that's the commitment from the federal government to get third sector involved, apart from the first and the second sector. And also the support from the financial authorities, like Bursa Malaysia, like the Securities Commission. Because the Securities Commission has already launched the Sustainable and Responsible Investment Framework, the SRI framework. That one of the important elements in the SRI framework is, of course, they wanted to promote the Waqaf, one of the things. And Alhamdulillah, I think Terengganu has already started one initiative when we started doing discussion with Bursa Malaysia, Nur Suryani from Bursa Malaysia, and also during that time Zulkifli Ishaq. He was CEO of Kenanga Investment, and also Ustaz Nazri from Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. So we get together, we try to innovate one product, the integration between Waqaf and also the financial instrument of capital market. And then initially we tend to develop what we call the Waqaf ETF. Waqaf ETF, and later it becomes a Waqaf featured exchange traded fund. And then board of Maidam approved this product. And when we talk with Yayasan Waqaf Malaysia, so Yayasan Waqaf Malaysia advised us to make it at the national level. So that's why 2024 this product has launched by Yayasan Waqaf Malaysia. But initially it was started, at Terengganu with the collaboration between Bursa Malaysia and also Kenanga Investment. So this is where we can see that the seriousness of financial authorities like Securities Commission, they also wanted to promote anything related to the Islamic, the Waqaf, zakat, etc. And also the other one is the support from the religious authorities as well. I think many of us, I'm quite fortunate, being in the academics before, and now, being practitioner in the State Islamic Religious Council. And I think, last 10, 20 years back, there are many critics to State Islamic Religious Council, especially, their governance, their efficiency. And I think nowadays, State Islamic Religious Council is quite open for any collaboration from any parties. So we can see the support from the government is very good. Support from the financial authorities very good, and also state, and also the religious authorities as well. The second one, of course, the growth of social enterprises and ecosystem support. I think this is another important scenario because last time we don't even hear about the, for instance, like iTekat initiative led by Bank Negara Malaysia. This is very, very good initiative. And I think last 2 weeks we did a discussion with Bank Negara Malaysia and also Agrobank as well to find solution on how we can use Waqaf fund to implement to continue the iTekat initiative. Because currently, iTekat that was initiated by Bank Negara Malaysia, they use a zakat fund to conduct iTekat program. So Bank Negara, when one of the representatives from Bank Negara Malaysia came to me and asked, how can we use Waqaf fund to conduct iTekat, then we sit down together and we have find a solution on how we can use Waqaf fund to what we call to conduct the iTekat. So iTekat program is one of the good example on how we can see the growth of social enterprises and also the ecosystem support, and also the initiative made by the Khazanah as well when they launched the investment, the IIF, the impact investment framework as well, fund, impact investment, impact investment fund led by Khazanah is also another example on how the growth of social enterprises and ecosystem support. And last but not least is the integration between social and financial. We've heard the term Islamic social finance, how we mobilize the Islamic-based financial instrument to meet the social needs, and also the value-based activities that prioritize the what we call the social needs over profit function.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Azrin. I think he touches a lot of issues, but I'm interested to point out two issues that to facilitate the growth of third sector, we need very robust regulation. So I think there's an improvement that Malaysia needs. And second thing is most of the third sector player are not self-sufficient. They require fundings and they always come to authorities to seek for zakat and waqaf fund. That is the challenge that we need to address. Okay, so Syazwan, that's why I think we have done a lot of things, but still people question about the impact of the Islamic social finance, the waqaf and the zakat things. So actually, what are the challenges faced by, for example, Waqaf An-Nur in order to move the waqaf, to mobilize waqaf to bring impact to the society? What are the main challenges?
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you, Dr. May, for the introduction. Firstly, I would like to thank you to INSAF, Dato Azmi, Mr. Syed, for inviting Waqaf An-Nur for this session. I'm truly honored, also truly honored to share this panel with two esteemed leaders, Dato Dr. Sri Syed Saleh dan Dato Dr. Ahmad Azrin, CEO of Majlis Agama Islam Terengganu, one of the most progressive Majlis Agama Islam in Malaysia today. So, turning to your question, what are the main challenges the third sector faces in this sector? So basically, in my view, the biggest challenge is not lack of goodwill, it's not lack of asset, and it's not lack of religious mandate. In fact, we are fortunate because we have various NGOs, active NGOs in Malaysia. We have very strong zakat collection in Malaysia from all the states, not only zakat as well as all donors. And then we have a significant waqaf asset in Malaysia. But then the real challenge is how we activate these strengths, how we activate, how we coordinate, and how we facilitate these strengths that we have. Okay, first for me, many third sector institutional is very good at distribution, but not really strong in income generating businesses operation. So totally agree with the panel here. And then maybe I can share a little bit. As you all know, NGO in Malaysia, some of them are able to collect donors from the public, nearly 100 million a year. But at Waqaf An-Nur, we are unable to collect that kind of money from the public. It's a bit difficult. But then, Alhamdulillah, we have our Waqaf asset, initially, maybe share a little bit, initially endowed by Johor Corporation, a multinational state-owned organization, where in 2006, Johor Corporation or JCOP, they Waqaf or endow their shares, about 140 million. Now, Alhamdulillah, after about 20 years, the asset grew until nearly 1.4 billion. And from this asset and this progressive or this business asset, we managed to make it profitable, and then say the 10% of yield of 1.4 billion is equivalent 140 million. So this is one of the way for us to generate income without relying to public donation. So for me, this illustrate the power of social or progressive business assets, not only passive asset but also the business assets. Second, we have lots of assets in Malaysia, especially Waqaf asset. I believe lots of states in Malaysia, religious council, all of them have the Waqaf asset. But most of these assets have some issues. For example, one of the issues is when we mentioned about Waqaf asset, the fundamental is niat or intention of the Waqif. What is the intention? What is the niat? Normally, public knowledge or public intention when they want to endow, want to Waqaf their asset, the parcel of land, normally for most development, for school staffies, that is the general knowledge of publics in Malaysia. But when we get this kind of information or situation, some of this land is not suitable for most development because of what? Because 100 meters from that land is another mosque. So why we want to create two mosques at one area? That's one of the issues. And another issue is the location-wise. Some of the land is not strategically located for commercial development. So we need to find solution if we can dispose or istidal this kind of non-strategic asset and pull it and invest into one strategic location. I think that's one of the way. And another issues that I can highlight in Malaysia, particularly about this Waqaf land. One land title sometimes can get until 20 owners, and one of the owners is the Waqaf institution. So this is some of the technical issues that need to be sorted out by the authorities, by the government, to ensure all these assets will generate incomes. And lastly, finally, and I think this is for me and for Waqaf An-Nur, this is increasing important. We need to embrace technology and AI, because I believe most of us still use manual and traditional process. But moving forward to scale up, to make our business more efficient, to reduce leakages, we need to embrace AI and technology. That is what we do at Waqaf An-Nur. By doing that, we only not improve efficiency, we also reduce our manpower costs. So I think by having this kind of strategies, inshallah, the distribution to help the third economy will be better. Thank you.
Thank you, all the panelists. So we complete our first round to set the context of our discussion today. I'm going to Dato Sri. Islamic Relief is a global brand of the NGOs, Islamic NGO. And you deal with international standards, and also and you can compare all the countries, the standard in the respective countries. So how do you balance between the requirement of these standards, international standards, and the priority in Malaysia, the social needs in Malaysia?
Thank you, Prof. I would like to start by saying that Islamic Relief balances this through a global standards and local solutions approach. Islamic Relief operates with a dual perspective, globally guided by humanitarian principles and international standards, yet locally anchored in the socio-economic realities of each community we serve. Globally, we adhere to all those internationally recognized frameworks such as the SPEARS standards, core humanitarian standard, and in principles of neutrality, impartiality, as well as follow international best practices in governance and accountability, as you were mentioning just now. This is to ensure our intervention are effective, ethical, and also consistent across diverse contexts. Islamic Relief works in diverse and often fragile settings, ranging from conflict zones to areas affected by climate change and chronic poverty. Our mission is to alleviate this suffering, promote human dignity, and also to support long-term resilience. We work with various international organizations, even with churches as well, and also with United Nations bodies, which involves in refugees, in the food program, in children, and also health. Our programming has continued to grow in scale and complexity and ambition as well, guided by our commitment to localize by inclusion, accountability to the affected population, and based on the Maqasid Sharia framework, which promotes preservation of life, religion, intellect, lineage, and also wealth. Also, we uphold these humanitarian principles rooted with our values of rahmah, amanah, ihsan, adil, and also ikhlas. Because this is important to gain the trust from the public and donors. Also, since we use the name of Islamic Relief, we are the flag bearer of the Muslim organization. So we need to ensure the accountability, the governance, and all these principles are adhered to. I would like to take this opportunity also to inform that the Islamic Relief worldwide global reach impact for the year 2024, where there are a total of 795 projects being carried out in 38 countries. These projects reach over 14.5 million unique right holders. We prefer to use the word right holders instead of beneficiaries, because they have the right and we are the ones serving them. 14.5 million unique right holders and around 12.5 million of the wider community. So these are the rich impact that we have achieved in 2024. Locally, we have undertaken 12 projects that benefited 37,000 right holders. At the same time, in Malaysia, we are deeply grounded in unique social and economic and cultural landscape, recognizing our local priorities, such as addressing the urban poverty, supporting underserved communities in rural areas, disaster preparedness for flood-prone regions. Also, we are working also on the Islamic social financing, and also the needs of the vulnerable groups, including single mothers, refugees, stateless children, all which must be thoughtfully integrated into our programming. So balancing these two dimensions requires adaptation. To balance both, we localize the humanitarian excellence into Malaysia. Again, here the collaboration is key. We work closely with a number of parties, for example, the government agencies, also the corporates and local authorities, community leaders, universities as well. And we hope that we also can start the inroad into INSEF University also, and other civil society to ensure relevance and sustainability. This ensures that every program is not only globally compliant, that is important, but also locally meaningful, contributing to the national priorities. Ultimately, this balance that our work is both globally accountable and locally impactful, upholding the humanitarian principles while meeting the immediate and long-term needs of the communities. In short, we can say that global standards ensure accountability, local priorities ensure relevance. Inshallah.
So Dato' Sri, Islamic Relief receive fund from international, or you rely on the local support?
Okay, Islamic Relief is a federation of over 40-odd number of countries office around the world. There are some countries who are the field office, whereby they are the one serving the community. But at the same time, there are also countries that is fundraising countries, which include Malaysia as one of the fundraising countries. whereby our donation, we raise our funds through donations. So, Dato, since you said that you have a lot of letters daily, I don't think that's troublesome to have another one from us. Basically, we have donations from the public as well as the corporate, the banks and other corporates as well, and and also from other Islamic Relief family members. We also have from other countries, Canada and also Australia and UK. They also look at certain projects in Malaysia, so they also fund that projects in Malaysia. Apart from we using our own funds and also from the corporate donations as well. So it's a mix of international as well as local. But mainly we look into the donation of sadaqah and zakat, and as well as we are looking now into Waqaf, inshallah.
Thank you, Dato' Sri, for the explanation. So moving to Dr. Azrin again. We know in Malaysia we are very unique because only states are allowed to govern the zakat and waqaf fund. The sole authority is rested to the state authority. This create a perception because many think that they can do more. The state religious authority can do more in terms of distributing and innovation of how zakat and fund should be allocated. So how you see this, whether this perception is true, and since Dr. Azrin in Maidam for quite a few years, so how you see the current development and the evolving of the innovative instrument in Waqaf and Zakat?
Before I answer your question, I'm looking for your letter. In terms of the governance of Waqaf and Zakat Fund, we all know that Malaysia is very unique. Malaysia is very unique because we use what we call the decentralization. So anything related to Islamic affairs, so state is going. This is under the state jurisdiction. So, for instance, in Terengganu, Majlis Agama Islam dan Adat Melayu, Istiadat, Majlis Agama Islam dan Adat Melayu Terengganu. Unlike Kelantan, Majlis Agama Islam dan Adat Istiadat Melayu Kelantan, Adat Istiadat Kelantan. Perak, it has the term Melayu. So this is under the jurisdiction of state. But there's another thing that I would like to share is that we have many models of governance in Malaysia. For example, in Terengganu, everything, zakat, waqaf, general resources like fidyah, loghatah, everything from A to Z is under Maidam. But if we were to compare, practice in other states, so we have altogether we have 4 models of governance. One-stop center like Maidam and also Maidam, Maik, Kelantan and also Johor, right? Johor, one-stop center. But certain states, Majlis Agama Islam Negeri, State Islamic Religious Council, establish a subsidiary. For instance, Majlis Agama Islam Selangor. It established a lembaga zakat Selangor to collect and distribute zakat, zakat fund. For Waqaf, Majlis Agama Islam Selangor established the Perbadanan Waqaf Selangor. So this is some kind of bring function to another entity to ensure the efficiency and also effectiveness. And also we have Majlis Agama Islam Wilayah Persekutuan for zakat collection, zakat and also waqaf collection. Majlis Agama Islam Wilayah Persekutuan established a subsidiary, Pusat Pungutan Zakat Majlis Agama Islam Wilayah, to only collect zakat and also waqaf fund. But for distribution, still under Majlis Agama Islam Wilayah Persekutuan. And the other one is quite unique, is the Lembaga Zakat Negeri Kedah. So anything related to zakat is under Lembaga Zakat Negeri Kedah. So Lembaga Zakat Negeri Kedah is under the patron of Sultan of Kedah. But for anything not related to zakat is still under Majlis Agama Islam Kedah. So we have so many models of governance in terms of the zakat and waqaf. So when we talk about zakat and waqaf fund, I discovered that there are many, the zakat fund has evolved, from charity approach, from traditional. From the traditional approach to contemporary approach. So we can see many things. Number one is, of course, from charity to social economic system. So like the thing that I've mentioned just now, the way we try to establish a new framework of doing things. And the latest one is, of course, the what we call the principle accounting Islamic standard accounting for Baitul Mal, zakat and waqaf. In order to make anything related to zakat, especially this is zakat and also waqaf, make it more transparent. Of course, certain states disagree to apply this principle accounting Islam for Baitul Mal, zakat and waqaf, but most of the states agree to adopt to regulate, to follow the principle perekonomian Islam and Terengganu as well. So the second one is, of course, the from charity to productive and empowerment. If you refer to the financial statement of the State Islamic Religious Council, the latest one, you can see the classification under the zakat allocation. So you can see zakat, consumptive zakat, how many percentage of the zakat allocation goes to zakat consumptive, how many percentage goes to zakat productive. So we can see, the effectiveness of certain state, how they allocate a sum of zakat fund to a specific, or to targeted recipients of zakat, because we have 8 asnaf, not only for asnaf fakir and miskin. So we can see the classification and also the portion being distributed to each 8 asnaf. And of course for Terengganu, almost 70%. If we combine both asnaf fakir and also asnaf miskin, we combine both, it is almost 70%. Out of entire zakat collection, so 70% goes to asnaf fakir and also miskin. So it depends on state's policy. So the other one is, of course, I discovered that the progress of waqaf as well. The traditional waqaf, we always associate the waqaf with the static asset. 3M, mosque, madrasah, and then makam. In Indonesia, they call 3M lah. Madrasah, makam, and also mosque. So nowadays, we can see that the traditional waqaf remain. Traditional waqaf remain, because this is also important. But we add up with what we call the income generated waqaf, productive waqaf, income generated waqaf. So that's why the latest development in Terengganu, we have Waqaf land. So this is educational Waqaf land, 1.02 acre. So at first, we decided to build madrasah at first. But because of the very great location, very great location next to Bridge Sultan Mahmud, so we decided to build 16 chalet. 16 chalet, swimming pool, one big swimming pool, and then sauna center. So sauna center is very sensitive nowadays. But we have sauna center and also cafe. That costs 6.5 million. Alhamdulillah, the progress is already 70%. So we plan to, inshallah, so this project will be completed by October 2026. So Madam will appoint operator to run this chalet. So based on this operation, 60% goes back to Madam and 40% goes to operator. So based on 60%, certain portion, slightly 50% goes to anything related to kebajikan, social, for the purpose of any educational activities. For instance, we can give grant, to INSEF. For instance, we can the grant because this is educational Waqaf, or a specific Waqaf. The Waqaf first is the Baginda Sultan Omar, the 9th Sultan of Terengganu. So this is his land. Okay. So the third one is the integration with modern financial structure. I believe that nowadays, not only Maidam, I come to know that most of the state Islamic Religious Council has already conducted discussion with banks, especially to come up with Waqaf product and also zakat product. For instance, Maidam, last week we managed to have a meeting with one of the bank to create another product that we combine both Waqaf and also takaful. Waqaf plus takaful for the benefit of especially B40, especially the asnaf fakir and miskin. And also the digitalization and fintech adoption. I think this is another area where we can see the evolving, from the traditional approach with the contemporary approach. And at Maidam, we have developed in-house what we call the apps named Sahabat Maidam, where we can monitor the list of the senarai, the list of the asnaf fakir and miskin real time. So the moment one asnaf exclude from being poor, then we can remove from the systems. And the last one, of course, the outcome-based and impact measurement. So any program that we collaborate with any parties, we're going to have the pre and post measurement to see the impact, and also to what extent the effectiveness of 1 ringgit we contribute in one program, and to see what kind of outcome impact that we can have through a specific program.
Thank you, Dato Azrin. I think he touches on the collaboration. We have here Brother Imran from Sadaqah House and also Satnaha from Bank Rakyat. I think this is where the integration between religious state authority and Islamic financial institution is already there. Okay, coming back to your point, Dato Azrin, and continue by Syazwan, is about the Waqaf. Because when we talk about Waqaf, normally people talk about the legacy, the traditional way of managing Waqaf asset and fund. but I'm sure it's not the case in Waqaf An-Nur. So maybe Syazwan can tell us what are the innovation and how you do the Waqaf corporate, because we talk about the project Waqaf yang produce or produce income, then we can distribute the proceed.
Okay, thank you, Dr. May. Historically, Waqaf is not just a sidekick. It should be a core part of our living. For example, in Ottoman Empire, I think every one of us know. A baby could be born at Waqaf-funded hospital and then study at Waqaf-funded school or universities and work with Waqaf institution, and finally will be rest at the cemetery by Waqaf. So I think Waqaf should be an ecosystem by itself. The challenge today is not whether Waqaf is relevant, but how we structure and manage this Waqaf asset. At Waqaf An-Nur, I think mentioned by Dato Azrin also, Waqaf need to be more a productive asset rather than passive asset. That's key for Waqaf An-Nur. First, we focus on corporate or asset-based Waqaf, comprising equities. So we invest into equities, stocks in Bursa Malaysia. We also invest into high precious metals like gold, commodities at gold. And then we invest also into ETF, exchange traded fund, mentioned also by Dato Azrin. We are one of the initial investor in this. The first ever Waqaf featured exchange traded fund. So in simpler term, ETF, right? ETF is a unit trust but can be traded in Bursa Malaysia. This is more in simpler term. And then apart from this financial instrument, we also invest into other strategic and operating businesses that can generate income. The objective is basically to ensure Waqaf get a recurring income to fund our sustainable social programs. So in a simpler term, to give money, we need to make money first. That's the foundation, the fundamental of Waqaf An-Nur. Simple as that. Second, we apply commercial discipline supported by strong Sharia compliance. Even though Waqaf An-Nur is not a public listed company, we don't need to comply with all the Securities Commission regulation and standard, but we follow this best practice. Meaning, for every proposal or for every project that we want to get approval, there is the structured process of approval. From investment committee goes to Sharia committee, tender committee, audit, risk, finally to get the board approval. Even though the process and framework is tedious, but if you manage well, you can make it faster and efficient. Basically, this is to ensure our Waqaf asset is protected and can be growth. And perhaps I also can share about that I think Dato Azmi shared earlier. Rather than giving fish, we need to give the roots. At Waqaf An-Nur, we have our social enterprise initiative. We call it Waqafpreneur, meaning Waqaf combined with entrepreneur. So we have this kind of businesses. We have burger kiosks, barber shop, saloon for Muslimah, and few others, small businesses for basically asnaf, B40, single mother, youth. So this is the potential participant for us. So where we identify them, and then we provide training for them to start this business. Then when they want to start business, they need capital. So this is where the fund that we have, we provide Qadu Hasan, meaning 0% interest. So for them to start their businesses. And then if the business goes well and then they want to expand more, we have our Tawarruk facilities, minimum charge for them to expand, and we can get return from the businesses. Okay, maybe I can share also a little bit. During my previous employer at Perak, I'm part of this strategy and investment for Majlis Agama Islam Perak, the subsidiary of the investment of this for this religious council, where we collaborate with state government, Majlis Agama Islam, for Waqaf project. Initially at Perak, the state government and the Majlis Agama Islam, the religious council, they funded this Imam and Bilal at most throughout the states, millions of ringgit. So rather than every year they granted millions of ringgits to Imam and Bilal to pay their salary and their allowances. So we proposed to get a piece of land, few hundreds of acres. We develop a plantation estate or palm plantation estate. So from that project, 40% of the profit will be channeled to the Imam and Bilal basically. So this is one of the way, I think quite similar with what Dato Azrin shared earlier. So this is the kind of project and initiative that we need to work on between public, private and third sector institutional. And lastly, before I conclude, again I mentioned technology and AI is critical to us, and our innovation. We just launched our apps, Waqaf 360, can be accessed both in Apple App Store and Google Play Store. If you guys can download it, it will be very helpful to us. So you can donate through that apps, and you can monitor where is your fund being channeled out and what kind of new project that Waqaf and have. So I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Syazwan. I think we are happy to hear the recent development and innovation. And Mr. Faik, during our informal discussion, I think ISDB always have a fund.
Short-term solution where the money collected from the public needs to distribute within a year. And then, but for Waqaf, is more into a long-term solution. For example, when, like I said earlier, when Johor Corporation and Waqaf their asset about 140 million, that year 140 million is not given to the people, but only a profit, a portion of it is given to the people, about 14 million. And after 20 years, the amount given to the public is more than one time, double the amount of they're giving, more than 200 million. So this is where we need to strategize which fund is need to cater for the short-term needs, and which fund that can help us to solve the long-term issues, which I think we need to work with all the agencies, public, private, and the volunteer. So this is need to work out, need to be ironed out with all the agencies.
I touch a bit here and there. I mean, first and foremost, it is a bit unfortunate that zakat and waqaf is being handled at the state level. In a way, in terms of coordination, in terms of standardization, it's not been able to be done so easily. So it's good to hear that we have this national plan for zakat, and I'm sure also there is also one for waqaf. So I think this is the way forward, that we need to look into how we can standardize things at the national level, and collaboration in terms of with all the parties. At the moment, the 80,000. They have been registered with many different ministries or agencies. Some are with registrar of companies, some are with the registrar of what the other one? The registrar of society, and also there's also those registered with the youth ministry for the youth bodies. So there are various. So who is really looking at having an eye over them? So we need to have that thing, because in the end, like for instance, now Alhamdulillah with natural disaster, we have NADMA. Yeah, at least this organization can coordinate with all the agencies. Or else, if you always we hear that the stories of when there is flood, everyone goes to the same place, everyone give the same type of assistance, the same food, and the food is being left not attended to because there's too many food, but what they need is something else. So the coordination. So I think we need this information in terms of, one is collaboration, one is also the information, the data collection at the ground. So these are the certain things. And I would like to touch a bit on Dr. Prof. Lady Azrina mentioned what is the motivation for these third sector workers to continue to serve in this sector. I think the motivation is if you were to go to the ground. If you were to go to the ground and see the sufferings, that is a strong motivation for you to stay, to help, and you feel that you don't have enough time and energy to assist those sufferings. Millions are suffering. If you're talking about Gaza, about almost 2 million suffering in terms of hunger. How about Sudan? 12 million suffering in hunger and displacement and so on. So if you go there, you see for yourself, wow, I think that is the greatest motivation. And so actually, we also inculcate these values. Like in Islamic relief, we have these 5 values of Adil, Ihsan, and so on. So this also will motivate and keep our people focused, and with the outreach to all over the world, 38 countries, and 1.5 billion ringgit of funds being spent every year. So I think we would like to feel that we are part of the helping hand that assists the people. So these people are the rare type that really have that human touch, the humanitarian value in them. But surely, in reality, we have to balance with the cost of living. So these people, they are young, they have families, they have to feed the families. So if there is a better job opportunity, they might consider as well. But in the end, we have enough volunteers, we have enough workers to really make our organization run smoothly, inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we come to the end of our ID series. Can we give a big applause to our panelists? I think we have a very wonderful discussion, and we learned a lot from this session. Even though our objective is to mainstream the third sector, but after a discussion, I think we need to strategize and how to do it, and we need a more policy dialogue kind of thing. This is very important, and with the presence of ISDB and also MOE here, I think INSEF under the Center of Excellence Islamic Social Finance can serve as a platform to create this dialogue and also to create the awareness among the third sector and raise the bar among the players, inshallah. So thank you again to all participants in INSEF and also online, and also our panelists to share their experience. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Prof. Amir, for the top moderation and closing reflections. To all distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we hope today's discussion have provide meaningful insights and will inspire stronger collaboration, empowering the third sector to drive lasting social transformation in Malaysia. Before we conclude, we would like to take a group photo with the representative and panelists and also the guests outside here. And then we would like to invite all to have some lunch after this. Okay, thank you.